What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 120. It has been a minute.
It has.
Yep.
It's good to be back, though.
Yeah, a lot to cover this episode.
A lot. So there's a lot there. Yes.
Where do you want to start today?
Let's talk about what's on the table.
Yeah, we probably, when we posted the promo schedule, we had most questions about Uper Night, which is awesome. Some of our counterparts in the area, the Timber Rattlers, had done it a season ago or something, and a bunch of people from the UP had really rallied around it. We have snow machines, so we figured we'd take it up a level.
That's what happens in the UP. It just snows.
Yeah, so there's a point. So the snow machines will be in effect. We got, since last episode, the mock-ups of the hats came in. So first 1,000 fans, you can pick either while supplies last, at which point you will have to just take whatever you're given. They turned out incredible, but as we've kind of evolved theme nights over the years, I actually am pretty proud of when we do a giveaway. It's not a 1 cent Frisbee. It's actually a cool thing when you come. And this is an actual cool theme night and the giveaway, right? We usually make the snow stand by itself because it's like lasers or a concert, an experience type thing, but it fit. So we have some Uper hats thanks to our friends at Scott Subs and Riverside Pizzeria.
Yeah.
Both UP-based franchises that originated in the UP and that people have brought this way. So Joel and Ryan Rizziconi, so Wonder Sign, also Joel. And then Scott and the Scott Subs crew both are helping feed the team this year and made the hats possible. And I got them, and I'm like, these are as nice as the youth jerseys. These are going to be a game you're going to want to line up for.
Absolutely.
And get. They are legitimate, like really good, high-quality hats. Have a Blizzard Uper logo on them, which is pretty awesome. So
explain what that is that we're looking at, because we do have people that watch this that have no idea what Uper means.
The Upper Peninsula.
There we go.
So
that's that's the Upper Peninsula of
Michigan.
There we go.
Got it.
So Uper comes from UP. So, and then the logos show up really nice on there. So Scott Subs and then Riverside Pizza.
Yep. And I also believe, thanks to someone with the same last name as you, we will be giving away a stay at Northwinds Adventures at that game as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're just figuring out how, like if someone's automatically going to win the snowstorm that night or how we'll give it away. But we'll be giving away a stay in the UP as well. So
fabulous. And that's a great place to stay.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So really cool. So it's always awesome when you get those in. And I think the giveaways we have ironed out this year is a cool green jersey rally towel for the home opener on St. Patty's Day with St. Patty's bruiser on it. Youth jersey, the Uper hat, and then military night, there will be a giveaway as well. And those are the giveaway games this year.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we promised that this would be a very impactful show.
I forgot to give a shout out at the beginning.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, Sean.
See, it's been a while, so we're like totally out of practice.
Yeah, huge shout out to Creative Edge and Edge VR Arcade for making Strictly Blizzness possible.
Yes, he actually has extra cameras going.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, where do you look?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just looking straight ahead.
Yep, same.
All good.
All sorts of questions and all sorts of league meeting stuff, or where do you want to go next?
League meetings, I think we'll start with, and then that will probably answer some of the questions, if not most of the questions.
Cool.
So the league meetings were fantastic. We went to Columbus and had a great round of meetings. It was 2 days, really one full day and then a part day the second day. But I can say, each time I go to these league meetings, I know I come back and I say, wow, it's getting even better. And there's more camaraderie and all that. And this one did not disappoint. We had our new members at the table, which was nice. So we got to meet with Jacksonville as well as Indianapolis and San Antonio. So they were in attendance. And then we also got to meet some of the new management for the teams in California.
Okay.
Also very, very astute business people. So I'm really looking forward to where the IFL is going and what we're all about. And the purpose of these meetings was to make sure that We're all on the same page as far as production value, that we're all coming up the curve on different things that we do for each other when you're in town. So all team meals for a visiting team need to be of this caliber. Hotels need to be of this caliber, that kind of stuff. So that's probably our biggest focus, because we are going to come out, and I don't want to ruin it here because the IFL should be the one posting this, but we're all members of a league. Yes, we're all individual businesses, but we have an overarching business that's the IFL. So the IFL is going to come out with some promotional material, especially what's going on with the AFL, that we are the major league. Not to be confused with baseball, but we are it as far as the most entrenched, consistent. We have that banner that we can wave because we've been here for this many seasons. We've been consistent. We're growing. We have, I feel, the best product on the field because it matches the outdoor game the closest. The AFL is talking about doing an Ironman version. They're still all over the place with where people are playing, not playing, traveling team. Now there's some ownership struggles going on there. So as I've said before, we'll wait and see what they actually come out with. I doubt very highly it's going to be the 24 teams they were talking about, and then 16, and God only knows what it's going to end up being.
Mm-hmm.
So that message is going to be coming out from the IFL, and I'll let them introduce that. And then we also have a lot of graphic content that they're going to come up with that each of us as teams will use prior to our games. So there'll be more graphics rather than watching our halftime show, because when you're at home, a halftime show doesn't mean anything to you if you can't hear the music and know what's going on. So we're hoping to cut out to other graphics, other interviews, things of that nature. And we had already started that from, you and I talking with our on-air announcer, Joey Bonadonna. We had already started to talk about how could we break up those segments? How do we do sideline comments? And quite honestly, we have limitations within all of our arenas. There's some arenas that are even further back in time than we are from a technology standpoint. But we're hoping to, from a look of each game and broadcast, to be similar. So we'll be getting graphic packages with a new score bug, things like that, which I think are going to be very top notch. So that's really what the purpose of the meeting was about. We got graded as teams as to how we had some criteria we had to meet, and we got a scorecard basically that we are going to share internally, but I shared it with Ryan. We did pretty good. We were one of 3 teams that received a prize for top scores, but the one place where we are lagging is in that production value of our broadcast. So we are actively working on that, like I said. So that was really the focus of the meetings. We did have a few rules, or I should say changes, that we had to vote on, which I can get into. One of them does affect you.
Okay.
But don't have a heart attack.
I am.
You probably already know about it
anymore.
No.
I got voted off the island by the league. That's
No.
impressive.
We have changed the halftime down to 15 minutes.
Okay.
So it's at 15. However, if you need it longer, you can request it to be longer. And that's just an effort to try and, shrink the overall time. Because especially when you have kids coming to a game, and if it's a 7:00 start, that 9:00, they're starting to get really, really tired. And by 10, they're like just passed out in the stands. So we're trying to get the game into that 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. So that's the way to do it. So not to alarm you, but if you didn't have a lot going on at halftime, you could shrink it if you wanted to. But again, it's upon request, it can be extended, because there are some folks that don't do halftime like we do halftime. I mean, we have a lot of sponsors at halftime and just different things that we do to facilitate the Blizzard. So that
anytime that it's over 15, we need to request. Okay.
Yeah. So if you know that already,
Oh yeah.
Send in the request. So, Todd, sorry, we are probably never going to have a 15-minute.
I apologize.
Yeah. So some of the football things that we did, and I just want to talk about this a little bit, and this is how our game is set up, and maybe we have Corey comment on this on a later episode, but basically I don't know if you saw, and it wasn't our game, but I don't know whose game it was, where a ref got pummeled and got hurt. So basically the rule is we used to give a warning if you were using the ref as a pick, and now there's no warning. You will get an immediate flag if you do that. So our ref has to be in the line of play. Hopefully they're fast enough to get out of that when they see the ball coming at them.
Right.
But you know when someone's using a ref that's midfield as their spot.
Yeah.
So that will be an immediate flag. Unsportsmanlike. So we have a history with unsportsmanlike, and we tried something. It didn't really work, and it turned into this. We have the head of all of our refs, who is Tom Fasanelli, and we came up with a strike system that if you had an unsportsmanlike, you could get basically it's 3 times and then you're out kind of thing. And when I say you're out, you're not out of the league, but you're going to sit for a game. There's some kind of a suspension. There's something that's going to happen. And more often than not, it's a problem player. The team knew they're a problem player, but they're that guy that is always causing trouble. And more often than not, it would come to a playoff game. They had just gotten their 3rd strike in the last game, and now they're sitting for a playoff game, and up in arms goes the coach. So we decided to just do away with the strike.
Got it.
So now unsportsmanlike will no longer be strikes. They will actually be finable offenses to the player because the strike didn't mean anything to them until they had to sit for a game.
Got
it. So now we're going to go more to the route of the NFL that you're going to get fined as a player. And we also, as owners, agreed that those fines are going to get turned down to the player. So when a player is only making $225 and they want to be a jerk on the field, well, it's going to get more and more taken out of their checks. And then the other one that we talked about, and I briefly talked about this, and I really don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Because college has NIL, we had players that were talking about NIL. As a league, we have some players that if you're a diehard sports fan for indoor football, you know these guys by what they've done. But you wouldn't know them if they didn't play for a particular team. So what we decided as owners is if you get an NIL deal, that means that you as a player have worked that out with someone, some vendor, but you can't use any of our gear. So you could say that you play for the Blizzard, but you can't show up in a Blizzard uniform. You can't show up in a Blizzard hat, things like that. Yeah. So that's really how NIL should work. It's name, image, likeness of the player, not name, image, likeness of our franchises.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest. Those are the most things that would impact the game, I guess, if you will. We do have moving forward, and this is something that we've worked on for a while. We do have key players within each of our organizations that can make more money. They have to be what's called a team ambassador, and each team gets 4. And those guys are the ones that are faces of the organization out in the community, doing work with you, with vendors, for instance, just more out in the forefront. So they should make some more money. But, you know, we've talked several times around if we could take the pool of money that we spend on them for their meals, for their housing, and we could pay them a lot more, but then they'd have to figure out their own housing. They'd be sleeping on somebody's couch because they wouldn't be able to get, with how transient they are. Some of these guys come in and they play for us for 2-3 games and then they're gone.
Yeah.
How do you get an apartment?
Right.
You know, and some of them don't have any credit built up. So, you know, where are they going to stay? And if they did get paid more, they'd end up using most of their paycheck on food and housing. So that's where we're at from a pay perspective. I will also say the promises of the other leagues that are promising all this extra cash, the more that we hear and the more that we talk to these poor players, they're getting promised one thing and then it's never delivered. And we've had some of our players go places for spring leagues and other leagues, and they get there, they pay the money to get there thinking they're going to make $1,000 a game or 800 a game or 600 a game even, and they are lucky if they get any money, first of all, and then second, it's usually not what they were told they were going to make. So all of a sudden there's new requirements of them to make that cash. So that's what I have from a notes perspective, if you will.
I'm going to just read any of the questions in case we
in case I didn't cover everything. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to cheat just because
well, I was cheating, so you can
sounds
cheat.
Good. Hold on here. Hold, please. It's going the wrong way.
Do you want me to do the hold music?
Got it. League-wide merch option?
Yeah, so the IFL has had a store, if you will, that is IFL logoed items. We have been more and more incorporating the IFL logo into our brand.
Yeah.
So you'll see more merch that has the IFL logo on it from us. They have talked about putting out a store that would have all of the team's stuff, so you could have one-stop shop to get, whatever you want. If you watch us, but you also like Quad Cities or you live in Quad Cities, whatever the case might be, I encourage you, if you're looking for league-wide merch, to go to that particular team and buy it from that team. The IFL at some point will have our merch, but I just don't know how much they would carry.
Okay.
So they're going to probably send you back to our individual sites.
Any new teams set to get new uniforms or new turf this season?
So uniforms, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure there will be one or two that will add uniforms to their genre. And some of them may be closer than you think. As far as you said, turf?
Yeah.
There are some teams that are getting turf. So we have standardized on a turf for the league. So it's not that you have to have that turf, but if you're going to go and buy turf, can't just randomly go out and buy turf. You have to get this particular turf, which is interlocking squares. It's the turf that, who has it? Arizona has it. Tulsa has it. Iowa has it now. We're looking into it. Obviously, the new teams coming on will have it. So, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
The other one, is there a particular team you like playing? And their question is, in the scope of your relationship with that owner and that franchise, that you just enjoy that rivalry, for lack of a better word, or their company or in their building, because there's good people.
So, yeah, I mean, a few come to mind, and for different reasons. I always love badgering Kevin, Guy. We don't play Tucson very often. Him and Kathy own Tucson, but that's really Kathy's thing, is Tucson. And Kevin isn't an owner at the Rattlers, but, Ron was at the meetings. So
Sure.
Ron Schertz is the owner of the Arizona Rattlers. He was at our meetings this year. I always like the rivalry of Kevin. And I'm talking more from a coach than an owner standpoint. And I always liked going in and razzing Billy back,
Sure.
Regardless of which team he was on. So we'll see how that all goes. But from an owner standpoint, we spend time with Iowa. So Jeff Lamberti and his wife, Linda, when they're in town, I like spending time with them. So it's not that we don't care what's going on the field, because we do. And there's that, of course, one of us is going to lose and one is going to win.
Right.
So there isn't like a rivalry going per se, but I like spending time with them. Doug from Quad Cities, and actually it's Destiny that normally comes to the game. So seeing Destiny in the crowd is always really cool. And Corey is always nice to hang out with as well from a coach perspective. So I don't know the answer to that, because I really don't have rivalries with any of the owners. We all get along. I mean, it's really cool when you have everybody wanting to achieve the same goals. Yeah, we have some teams that could do a better job, but I think as a whole, we are leagues above other leagues, if you
Awesome.
will. My play on words there.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the questions?
I think that's all I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yep. A lot coming. So follow social media. Single game tickets on sale February 12th. Hopefully I got that right on there. I believe that's a Monday. Yes, that's right. So,
It is a Monday.
Yeah. Yep. Along with some other really cool news about the food drive for the home opener that will get out there soon. So you have a chance to go get tickets ahead of time for that at different locations in town. So someone had commented when we launched the St. Patty's Day post on when you bring a food item, is it for a ticket for a different game? I will tell you no on air. We're actually going to go crazy. And if you bring a food item to the opener, you'll see the details. Holy cow, details. You'll see the details on all of that pretty quick here so people can prep and get tickets ahead of time at some spots in town, because we may not have tickets on game day if it goes nuts. So
Yeah. And don't wait
Yep.
and expect that you're going to get in because that deal is out there.
Yep.
Because it may very well sell out, and then you'll be walking in with your food item, and we'll say thank you very much for your donation. Here's a ticket to a different game. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Cool.
So they go on sale the 12th, and
Yep.
that's for all games?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's for all
Single game
games.
tickets go on sale the 12th. So,
Okay.
and much like every sports entity on the planet, there'll be flash sales and promotions and deals throughout the season. But usually when you do stuff like that, you're forced into a section that we pick, right? So if you want to go to a Blizzard game because you want to go and pick your seat, like that'd be the time to get it when they go on sale. There are a couple front row spots left at random games. Some great seats. Party Pit will be pretty full most games this year too, so you want to get that stuff early. So, yep.
Okay. Speaking of front row, and we had it posted on our last episode, but when we recorded our episode, we were sending out thoughts and prayers to Grandma Sandy's family, as well as Preston, her son. And she passed by the time we posted the episode. So we just want to say how impressed we have been with our fans, our players, our former players, the love that they sent out. There was so many social media posts and comments on the stuff that we posted. Former Blizzard staff that really, Sandy meant a lot to a lot of people. It's been, although she passed and is in a better place, it gave Ryan and I and Larry and I just a sense of camaraderie. And even Coach came up and said, this has been very moving to see how our organization affected her, but more importantly, how she affected our organization. So we just want to say thank you to all of our fans, and again, to all those players that chimed in at her passing. We will do something special for her this season. We're still working on that with PMI and just our behind the scenes kind of stuff. So if you come to the first game, we'll take a little time before the game starts to pay some homage to her and do something special in her honor.
You bet.
Is that it?
That's it.
Do you remember how to do our...
Not even close.
Okay.
Didn't even remember to thank the presenting partners.
I know.
So.
I got to get
It's good.
my shoulder
It's good.
in gear
This is
here.
why we will do this more frequently really soon here. I think.
So what are we doing?
Off next week, and then we fire up every week, if I remember correctly. So,
Okay. So we have an off week,
Yeah.
and then we're back to every
which
week.
Times out about a month from the home opener, and that was the intention. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. All right.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Should we hit him with it?
Well, I was waiting for you to say that because
do
when
remember
I say
that.
that, then you're like, wait a minute. So,
Rewind.
okay.
Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him with it.
Go Blizz. Don't forget to like, follow,
Subscribe
share.
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.